future, things will be better. We will all be kinder to one another. There will be no more wars, and we'll all get along. We will all be happy, and we will all be free. We'll be able to do what we want to do, and life will be perfect, or at least it will be better than it is now. So let's all try to make it happen. It might take some time, but eventually we'll get there, and then we can all look back and say that we made it. We stuck together and we made it through, and everything will be all right.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight for this talk show. We will start our talk show this evening. Special terima kasih to our friends from Indonesia. Thank you for coming all the way from Indonesia. You will be the guest tonight. We are delighted to have you with us tonight. And thank you. We also extend our thank you to the participants online, wherever you are. Good night, good morning to you all. Our guest tonight will be Professor Ruli from Indonesia. Some of the things that we should take note for this talk show. The Zoom screen is recording the talk show. Professor's lecture will be 1 hour, and after the 1 hour session, we will have Q&A, 20 minutes Q&A. The people online, if you have questions, you can indicate it on your laptop screen, or you can show it by the indicator so that we can call you to have your questions, or you can post the questions online. We also have the second segment of this program. The students of National University of Education and University in Indonesia will share their reports in the second session, and that will conclude our program for this evening. So without further delay, we will call our Professor Pusaka to briefly explain this talk show and to introduce a guest we have for tonight. Thank you, Professor.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mara-san. He's a master student, a second year master student, and thank you very much for nice opening. Okay, I'd like to, before inviting Professor Ruri, I would like to explain a little bit of background why today we invite Professor Ruri. Actually, our university, Naruto University of Education, and Ahmad Dahlan University in Indonesia, we collaborate. We have been collaborating for 2 years, from 2002 and 2003. The last 2 times, they kindly invited us to visit Indonesia and do a couple of plenary talk and some research exchanges. So this time, our university, invite Professor Ruri and 2 other professors to our university. And we made this kind of occasions to do the special lecture by Professor Ruri. Okay, but still before, okay, so please welcome to Naruto University of Education and Professor Ruri. So please come to the front. Before starting presentation, let me explain his background a little bit. Professor Ruri is a professor of mathematics education in Ahmad Dahlan University. His specialty is mathematics education, but especially in the ethnomathematics. Yeah, have you heard this mathematics? Yeah, the mathematics and culture. And he is the one of the very, very famous professors about this area, actually. Yeah, the everybody all around the world know him, actually. This is the truth, yes. Yeah, so we are looking forward to listening and your special lecture today. And thank you very much. Okay, so provide yes. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pasaka, for your introduce myself. And today, first of all, good evening, everybody, including in the offline and the online participant. Thank you very much for your kind participate in our special lecture. Okay, in this time, I would like to first of all, I introduce myself. My name is Ruli, Charitas Indra Prahmana, but you can call me Ruli. Now I would like to share one of my research about the ethnomathematics, especially because of this one of my specialization in research in mathematics education. Okay, may I share my presentation? Okay, this is my presentation in the fourth dimensional operation talk show. First of all, it is an honor for me to come in Naruto University of Education. Thank you very much for Professor Sasaka, to invite us. And this time, I would like to share one of my research about the mathematics with the title "When Culture Meets Mathematics." This is the we call the promising learning approach with culture as a starting point in the mathematics learning process. This is my name, Prahmana. I am come from Mathematics Education Department at Universitas Ahmad Dahlan, Jakarta, Indonesia. Okay, this is the content of my presentation. And in the evening, I divided into 4 sections. The first one, I would like to share a little bit to all of you about the history about the ethno-mathematics, and also RMA. RMA is the abbreviation of the realistic mathematics education. And the second one, I would like to share with you about how the culture inspired mathematics. And the third one, I will share with you some of my previous research about when culture meets mathematics, and also the idea before behind the learning approach. And the last one of the business approach, learning approach, named ethno-realistic mathematics education. Business procedure. This is one of the learning approach that I developed by myself, and also in my research community, especially in Indonesia. When we use culture as the starting point in learn mathematics, I will tell more to you what of this approach. Okay, the first content. When we talk about the realistic mathematics education, we must know who is the inventor, or who is the one who share the idea about the realistic mathematics. Is the name is Hans Breda, Professor Hans Breda from the Utrecht University in Netherlands. One of the philosophy that he said about the mathematics, he said that mathematics is a human activity, and therefore it must be connected to reality, stay close to children, and be relevant to society to be of social value. The last term that I will make a highlight about the social value. This is the first idea why I choose culture as the starting point in learning mathematics, because of the last one, social value. Hans Breda is born on 7 September 1905, and he already passed away in 13 October 1990. This is the inventor. Okay, when we talk about the realistic mathematics education, this abbreviation of RMA, like I said before, is a domain-specific instruction theory for mathematics, which has been developed in Netherlands. The characteristic of RMA is that rich, realistic situations are given a prominent position in the learning process. Realistic situations are given a prominent position in the learning process. So I want to give the highlight for the realistic situation. The second one, this situation serve as a source for illustrating the development of mathematical concept, tools, and procedure, and as a context in which students can in a later stage apply their mathematical knowledge, which then gradually has become more formal and general and less context specific. So the context as a tool to encourage, to enhance the formal knowledge of the student, especially in the mathematics content. Although realistic situation in the meaning of real world situation are important in RMA or realistic mathematician, but realistic itself has a broader connotation here. It means students are offered problem situation which can imagine. Not something you can touch and you can see, but something the student can imagine is always realistic in the realistic mathematics education approach. And then this interpretation of realistic trace back to the Dutch expression. Maybe my spelling is not good. Like this realism, meaning to imagine. It is the emphasis on making something real in your mind. Then, so if you would like to know about this, you can. I also take the link, the paper written by Maria van der Hoeven and Paul Rivers. This paper published in 2020. On the other hand, if you would like to know about the how to assess and the realistic mathematics education approach in the learning process, this is one book that I recommend to you if you would like to know more about it. This book, the title is Assessment and Realistic Mathematics Education, published by CDB Press from the Utrecht University, especially the Prudential Institute. This paper, this book, written by Maria, this is Maria van der Hoeven. And the cover, you can see that we have the smile face and also the rectangle. This cover is drawing by Hans Ludenthal several days before he died. So Maria used this picture to be the cover for this book. And also this book open access. You can download it if you would like to know about it. You can read it on this book. Okay, next step. About the ethnomathematics. And the other one, ethnomathematics is the study of the relationship between mathematics and culture. It often associated with culture without written expression. This term, this learning approach is known or invented or promoted by Professor Dahlan for the São Paulo University in Brazil. He born on 8 December 1932, and he also has been passed away 12 May 2021. But unfortunately, lucky to me, I have been make a discussion, send message to him several times, and then because we discussed about the ethnomathematics, is another to me. And then in 2021, we have several what we call appointment, and he tried to invite me to go to this university to know to learn more about the mathematics. But yeah, I heard the information about he already passed away. It's very sad to me, especially. So that's why last year in 2022 we have the international conference to what we call special conference to him, and also we declare the Ethnomathematics Day and December 8 in this conference. It's because of him, the word in December. So we promote, we announce the Ethnomathematics Day in the December. Okay, this is one of our project, my project as well with him. You can see that this paper written by me, Prahmana, and also in Umbratan the Ambulation. In this paper, I myself and him discuss more about the ethnomathematics, and I give the example in Indonesia, especially about the batik. Like I use this one batik, and also some of the participants use this batik. And you know that in batik we have the several special pattern. So we can learn geometry and also the value from this pattern. So this paper, the title is Learning Geometry and Value from Pattern. This is mathematics of the batik pattern of Yogyakarta Indonesia because of Indra Ahmad Dahlan in Yogyakarta. So every pattern in batik, especially that have a special value, added value. For example, when we sew the pattern like the bubble angle, namely bubble angle, or like a clothes, is maybe this pattern consists of some social value or something value that you can learn about the philosophy or the discipline from this pattern. And also from this pattern we can learn about the some context. For example, in this paper we talk about some pattern is consists of the geometric transformation like dilatation, translation, and the others. If you would like to know more, you can. I also give the link, and also this PowerPoint I also send to Professor Pusaka. If you want this PowerPoint, you can ask Pusaka. So you can read more if you would like to know about what this is. So I call this cultures inspired mathematics because when in this culture we can learn something content in mathematics. Okay, the next one, another paper about the ethnomathematics, Prahmana system and the birth death ceremonial in Yogyakarta. In Yogyakarta, we have several ceremonial. Oh, before I discuss about it, you know that there are two kinds of the culture in the ethnomathematics. We can see that the first one is artifact. Artifact, something you can see, you can touch, something you can use it. For example, like statue, like batik, like something you can see and you can touch. The second one is mentifact. Mentifact means something like rules, like ceremonial, and the others. I give you both example. The first one, batik, is one of the artifact section, and the second one is the mentifact. The example of the mentifact. Now, in the mentifact, the ceremonial in Yogyakarta, Prahmana system, this is decision for everybody. When you like to go to fishing or farming, they are in Yogyakarta especially, they are season. Which season is better? Which day, which month, which year? No years. Just which day and month is better for you to go to fishing, go to farming, and doing something. And the second one about the birthday ceremonial. So if woman and man would get married, we can count the date of the birth, the date and the month of the woman, and the date of month and the man. We can count, and the what do you call the chief in the tribe maybe can say that both of you is good if you married, but both of you is not good if you married. Do you get the point, right? Something else we can count it. In Indonesia, we can call the name is primbon. Now, this is the name. So when I saw that the ceremonial like this in culture, so I found that this is the mathematical modeling by using the modulo. So we can count it. So we can teach them. We can teach students modulo 1, modulo 2, modulo 3, and the other. But by using the context itself is culture. Okay, we can teach them about the value, about the what we call it in this one in this paper, like the season system, first day. This model, the potential, in my opinion, is potential to use as the starting point in the learning mathematics. So in the first paper and the second paper, we try to explore which culture can we use as the context to learn mathematics. This is the point. So another one, learning success theory using shadow puppet. a study of Japanese ethnomathematics. And the paper in Indonesia, we have the culture named Wayang. In Japan, maybe in Japan, we have hobuki, if I'm not mistaken, something the traditional dolls we can use like puppet and the others. But in Jakarta, especially in Java, we have the name is shadow puppet, wayang. And when I explore about this situation, this culture, I found that there is something that we can use to learn one topic in mathematics, namely set. Why? Because every character in the wayang have the special character. In wayang we have two kind of character, the bad character and the good character. And in the good character, every character in the good character has the special character. For example, the eyes is what we call slightly for the eyes, and the face must be glowing, shining. Okay, and about the accessories, just a little bit. It's different with the bad character. The eyes must be what we call I don't know, belly is bigger, and you can see the noise is like what we call protruding, like this. But in good character, the noise is sharp noise. You can see that, and you can see the face in the good character must be go down, and the bad character must be higher. You can see that the accessories is very much for the bad character, and all of the wayang character like Pandawa, Kurawa, it is the name, and something else have this character. So we know that the definition of set is something that have the same character that is the sets. So from this situation, I try to promote one of the contexts to learn set theory by using this culture. So this is the point. If you like, I said, if you like more about this paper, you can read, because all of the paper that I tell to you, this is the open access. You can download it for free. Okay, so on the other side, in the realistic mathematics education, we have the context. Like I said before in the previous slide, context in the realistic mathematics education must be realistic and appropriate context. The first one is must be meaningful for the student. The second one can be a real life situation, but can also emerge from the works of science or mathematics itself. And the third one, appropriate context should be taken into account the skills, competencies, and interests of the student. So, because of this indicator of the real context, so I think that context is very general. But on the other side, I have the learning approach, namely mathematics. They have the special context. It's very meaningful for students. We can also teach them about the culture by using this context. So that's why I have an idea. This one, I have the idea when culture meets mathematics. The initial idea behind the image of realistic mathematics education is to use the context derived from the explorative result of the mathematics studies. So the first step, I try to explore the mathematics content from the culture. After that, I use our exploration result to be a context and a starting point in learn mathematics by using the realistic mathematics education characteristic and also principle and the others. This is the idea. The idea, like I said before, to make sure that my idea can be received in the ethnomathematics community. So I write it with the title "When Culture Meets Mathematics" as a starting point in learning mathematics. This is a paper, and I try to send to Milton Rosa as the Professor Milton Rosa, and the editor in chief is ISGAM or International Study Group on Ethnomathematics Paper. And thanks God, this paper accepted and published in this newspaper. This is the idea. That's why I said that if I have the idea before this is the disappear, so I write it and I publish it. After that, I developed the idea to be the some model. We call the ethno-realistic based mathematical learning process. Why I give the name like this? Because of the first step is exploration of the ethno-mathematics content, and then from this result, I use in the learning process by using the realistic mathematics education characteristic and the others. So there are 3 steps to develop this model. The first one, culture-based mathematics problem. In the first step, the teacher try to develop cultural context instruction tools. This is the first one. The second one, students explore the mathematical problem with the culture as the context. Okay, the third part, the teacher construct the student's understanding based on the culture, context, mathematical problem provided. This is the first step, culture-based mathematics problem. Okay, the second part, mathematical modeling. In this part, I use realistic mathematics education approach in the teaching and learning activity with culture as the context and the starting point of the learning. So in the realistic mathematics education, the first step is the using context. But realistic mathematics education, in general, the context is also in general. For example, when we would like to teach about the circle, we can use the watch. Okay. When we would like to teach about the rectangle, we can use the whiteboard and the others. Or we can teach them about the cube, we can use this one, something else. So the context is very important. But at that time, the context I use coming from our exploration about the mathematics, about the culture that's content the mathematics, and this is the content. This is the idea. The second part, and the last part, this is the how to make the mathematics or the context have the ability. So I use the mathematical ability by using the integration of the curriculum review or trivium curriculum. This is coming from the Professor Ambrosio. The concept of 3 parts. The first one is literacy, the second one is matheracy, and the last one technocracy. The 3 of the trivium curriculum must be in the learning process, must be developed in the learning process. This is the system model that I give the name ethno-realistic mathematics education model. This is the idea. Like I said before, if I have the idea, I try to make the systematic literature review. I read a lot of paper and try to make it the format, and then I try to submit in Springer Nature Social Science Journal with the title Ethno-Realistic Mathematics Education: The Promising Learning Approach in the City of Culture. Because of Yogyakarta is the city of culture in Indonesia. A lot of culture in Yogyakarta, like Borobudur Temple, you also go there, and some batik also, a lot of culture, the heritage in Yogyakarta. So as a pilot project, I use Yogyakarta. So that's why the newspaper, the promising approach in the city of culture. Maybe in Japan we can use Kyoto, because in Kyoto so many traditional heritage and the others. So this paper, I construct the ethno-Arabic framework. I document it in a scientific article that hopefully later on can be later use reference in implementing the ethno-realistic mathematics education approach. In this paper, I try to combine the idea of fundamental about realistic mathematics education and also the idea of Ambrosio about the ethno-mathematics. Because when I read some document from the ICME, International Congress on Mathematics Education, in I forget 13 or 14 in Hamburg, I read that long time ago, Hans Rental invite Ambrosio from Brazil to Netherlands to Utrecht University to give speech about the idea. This document written by the Maria, because Maria is the famous student from Ambrosio, from the Prudental. So both of them been meet long time ago. Maybe the idea I get it from both of the famous mathematician that focus on the constructivists to make the mathematics more meaningful, more easy in the student. And that's why in this paper I try to combine both of the idea from the famous mathematician, and after that I try to implement the LMA in the learning process, and the context must be coming from the mathematics exploration. Okay, the next step in the 2023, I also try to make the review curriculum in the ethno-Arabic approach. That's why an impactful insight from ethnomathematics and relational mathematics education. In this paper, I will discuss more about the step by step of the procedure, how the ethno-Arabic can be implemented in the class in this paper. So, like I said before, if I an idea to make sure that the idea can be acceptable to the research area or the research community, especially about the mathematics community, I published in the journal the construction of the review curriculum within the ethno-Arabic approach, and also documented. Hopefully, it can be used as a reference in implementing this one. The first one about the framework. The second one about the pace. The first one, second one to be implemented in class. So this is the idea. And about the research, what should we do? This is I give you one of the example, my experiences or my previous research about this one. The first stage, conducting cultural exploration to later be used in the context in the starting point of mathematics learning. For example, in this case, I use wayang atau shadow puppet, right? Exploration, and to make sure that this context can be used as a starting point in learning sense. After that, the second stage, I try to design the lesson plan for one of the mathematical topics, namely sets, using the outcomes of the result and the exploration stage, the first stage. This is also I read this paper about the designing learning trajectory of sets through the Indonesian traditional, Indonesian shadow puppet, and Mahabharata stories. This is the second step. Okay, and the last step, after the confirm or the acceptable in the publication, and then we can implement it in the learning process. This is the third process. This is the activity 1, activity 2, activity 3. There are 4 activities, and then that we design to teach sets by using the shadow puppet. The activity 1, the teachers narrates the story of Mahabharata and its character. You can see that there are a lot of wayang or shadow puppet in the table on the table of student of the teacher. The activity 2, the teacher introduced the characteristic of wayang in the Mahabharata story, and the third activity, a student engage the activity of placing each wayang on the clear screens but in the invitation based on their characteristic. And the last activity, students write down the sets of wayang character in Mahabharata story, which one the bad character, which one the good character, respective of the characteristic, like I said about their eyes, their nose, their accessories, and the other. This is the last activity. And the result, we already write the result and submit the journal, but now in this still review process. Hopefully next year this paper already acceptable and published, so I can give more example with the first stage, the second stage, and the last stages. This is the research process. And the last of my presentation talk about how to the learning procedure or learning stage of the ethno-realistic mathematics education. I divided into 5 stages. The first stage, determining the context of ethnomathematics. The first stage. The second stage, exploring and processing information about the ethnomathematics context. The third, this is the second phase. The third phase, finding mathematics in the context of the ethnomathematics. And the next one, conducting self-development models. And the next one, conducting critical reflection as an assessment. After we get this one, so the student thinking not in the informal level again, but in the formal level. After they enhance the formal level, we can give some problem by using the culture again to we can determine the next context, the next context of ethnomathematics. So this is the cyclic process. Hopefully after that, the student can solve whether this is the formal level or whether this is the informal level. Sometimes students, when they learn about the mathematics, sometimes they say that what this the important thing of learn mathematics is it useful or not? Something a student say like this. So that's why we give some more example and applicable and related to students and close to the student, so they can use to do the everyday life, everyday activity for the activity. This is the problem. And then this is some of our result, and I also read the books depend on paper and also the book is three of them. This is good about the mathematics. This is the second one about the Genesis. The last one about the realistic mathematics. But until now, I have the several projects with my student and also from my several college in Indonesia and also in the overseas to explore more about the mathematics context and also about the implementation. Like in the August and September, I go to last month I go to Brunei, and then we explore some landmark in Brunei, especially about the Sultan Hasanah Bolkiah Mosque. It's very interesting. A lot of pattern there, and then we also explore about the some cultural activity in there. Hopefully, next year we can write a report and share to some the mathematics researcher in Indonesia and also around the world. This is our plan. And also some of my students can research or explore about the some culture in Yogyakarta and also in several city in Indonesia, because of in our university some student is coming from several city in from Indonesia. This is thanks to my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. Hopefully we can discuss more if you are interested to our the idea of the combine the mathematics and business education. Thank you so much.
Terima kasih. Thank you so much, Professor Ruli, for this wonderful insight presentation about ethnomathematics. I hope we got some information. The people offline and online as well. So I hope you might have some questions which you might want to ask him. This time is going to be Q&A. So we will ask the participants to ask Professor Ruli some questions regarding his presentation tonight. Thank you. People online, if you have questions, you can write it on the chat box. So we can read it to him and then he'll explain and answer the questions. The people on the ground, you can ask him questions. Sorry, the name is not mentioned here. The question reads, what is the approach mainly used in Indonesia? Learn mathematics starting from the culture aspect, or learn mathematics and then connect it to cultural aspect. The question continues, what is the same between ethnomathematics and culture of mathematics? So these are the two questions.
Thank you so much, Professor Saka, for your interesting question. for the so not for you.
From me. So, we received before.
Oh, it is okay. Thank you so much. I don't know who is that, but it's very interesting question. The first one about the mainly approach used in the Indonesia, learn mathematics starting from some culture aspect, or learn mathematics and then connected to some culture aspect. Based on this option, mostly in Indonesia, we try to find which context is suitable which things or something is suitable can use as the context in learning mathematics. So the suitable one in our lesson we use the culture. So maybe some teacher or some teacher can use another context. For example, like I think like bus, a train, or whatever, not culture. But in our focus about by using the culture. But so when I give option, which one more effective, which one used in Indonesia, I choose the first one. So in learn mathematics, the context is in the starting point, not after we learn and we connect to some culture. It's very different. But in the process, we can use it. After the students can promote or emails from the informal level, after the formal level, maybe we can implement the knowledge in the some culture. This is the idea. So the first one is more effective. Okay, the second one, what's the same between the mathematics and the culture of mathematics? I think it's a tricky question because of mathematics is studied between the culture and mathematics. But the culture of mathematics, I think mathematics culture is the good term, but I don't know exactly what does it mean. We will learn more about it. If I in my opinion, culture of mathematics such related to the mathematics ability. If like mathematics creative thinking or mathematics creativity or problem solving and the other. If not mistake, but the mathematics culture and mathematics, we learn mathematics as the connection between mathematics and culture. It's a tricky question. Okay, the next one, the next question: how are relationship both culture and innovation with mathematical modeling? This the next one. In my like I present in the second paper, we use the culture. We explored the culture. After we get the result, I think this is the innovation in the learning process. I think, and then from this culture, especially, we can use to teach mathematical modeling to the student. Like I said before, they can simulate the Prahmana system and the birthday ceremony. Then he gets how this modulo 1, 2, 3, and 7, and then this is the mathematical modeling. How they can model. He can abstracting or abstracting the situation to be the mathematical symbol. This is the situation, the real situation, and then this is. They can transform to the mathematical symbol. I think this is the mathematical modeling. So, how the relationship? Yeah, like the first one we can explore this one, and then we found that I think it is suitable, is interesting, or it's promising when we use this as the starting point in the learning some content in mathematics. For example, like geometry transformation or like assess or like modeling or like number operation and the others. As you know that in Indonesia there are a lot of Indonesian traditional games. It's a lot of Indonesian traditional games, and one of them we just teach in our school in the scuba. We teach them one of the Indonesian game, namely cublak suwung. after we play the student play this game, I ask them, what's the mathematics content that you can learn from this game? So some student can see that, oh, I can learn about the probability from this game. So this is interesting because the content is coming from the students. They can feel that, wow, they can test. And when I ask the next question, what's the probability, or how much the probability if you can choose which one to hide the coin? Because in this game, we found that we give some coin, and some coin hide from some students, and then the Mr. Empong, this is the subject, can wake up and which one hide this coin. They can answer that, oh, the probability must be 1/4 or 25%. Well, it's amazing for us because of there are 5 students, 1 student as the protector, and the Mr. Empong, and for us in the student can hide the square. So the probability must be 1/4, right? Something like that. So it's very good. Then a lot of traditional games in Indonesia, if you can see that there are a lot of content we can teach the student and from this game. And one of the principle in the basic mathematics education, namely guided reinvention. Guided reinvention means that the teacher try to guide student to reinvent the mathematics content by using the problem that the teacher give it to the student. So this philosophy and this character, this philosophy and also this characteristic of the basic mathematics education, hopefully can be implemented in the learning process. So as a teacher, we try to find which context, the best context or the suitable context can be used to the student. I think this is the answer to 3 of the question.
Looks like we still have a few more minutes, so the students offline might want to ask 1 or 2 questions.
Thank you for the presentation. My name is Munzi. I'm from Madagascar. I have actually 2 questions.
Yeah.
The first question is, at what level do we start mathematics at school? And the second one is, what about the language, the language we speak, when we talk about ethnomathematics and culture and mathematics?
Okay,
Thank you very much.
that's a good question. That's a good question. I also write a paper about it. For the first question, what grade level which is in the school, right? Until now, I and my team just teach on implementing in the junior in the primary school, and the lower grade or the second grade, maybe in the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth grade. But for the elementary school, for the junior high school or senior high school, until now I don't have experiences to do that. But maybe or probably will be used in this grade. But until now, I still working on the primary school. But for next year, one of my projects, I try to implement it in the kindergarten, because it's very interesting to make the fun learning and explore in the around playground and the others. It's very interesting because for myself, if we can teach mathematics in the beginning, it's the foundation, right? In the foundation of the student. If the foundation is good, hopefully for the junior high school or the senior high school must be better. But if the foundation is not good, I think they can hate mathematics. So yeah, you can hate mathematics. when some student, if they are not good foundation in the primary school, maybe until junior high school, senior until the graduate, maybe they can hate mathematics so much. So that's why it's better we can from in the beginning. This is the first question. The second question about the language is very interesting because in the 2020 I have been published a paper but in bahasa. With the title bahasa matematis masyarakat Yogyakarta. It means that the Yogyakarta mathematics language, but Yogyakarta society mathematics language, a study of ethno mathematics. So in this paper, maybe I will share with you. We have more than 700 language in Indonesia. A lot of language, but we have one national language, namely bahasa Indonesia. So every tribe, every island, every city in Indonesia have their mother tongue language. For example, Japanese language or Sundanese language and the others. So when we teach students in the remote area in bahasa Indonesia, maybe some students doesn't understand. This is from Indonesia, but in remote area they don't know about the bahasa Indonesia. They use the local language. There is more than 700 languages in Indonesia. So in Yogyakarta, I like to do that. In Yogyakarta, there are some village. In Yogyakarta, they always use the local language, namely Japanese language. And I found that in Japanese language, there are a lot of mathematics content in there. This paper consists of, I think, more than 20 pages in this paper. So I can found that how to measure, how to say time, how to set fraction, decimal, and the others by using the language. So when we teach students by using mathematics language, by using the local language, for them it must be better than we teach by using in national language. And this paper, I'm so happy because this paper has been cited more. So several researchers from the other city by using our paper to do the same research. For example, I use the Yogyakarta mathematics language. On the other side, they using Sundanese mathematics language, and the others they use what we call suku anak dalam mathematics language. So I'm so happy because the idea of this system can replicate in the other city in Indonesia. So when we so my conclusion is, if we teach student in the village, maybe in the remote area, by using their local language, it must be better, especially in mathematics. I don't know for the other subject, depend on by using the questions. This is the idea. It's answer your question?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Professor, sorry, we have one more question from one of our students. One of our students from Guinea-Bissau is with the son in Africa.
Okay.
He has two questions. He posted it so you can have a look at them in your screen and see if you can answer them.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Professor, for this wonderful lecture. It has been a privilege to attend this day. Then I would like to ask the following. The first one, could you give a sample of mathematical problem related to a cultural involved number? Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. The second one, I would like to know some example of how mathematics is influenced by culture. How mathematics is influenced by, okay. Example, how Japanese influence mathematics in Japan. How Japanese influence mathematics in Japan. Okay. And or how Indonesian culture influence math in Indonesia. Okay, I will ask one by one. For the first question, I also have experiences. In Indonesia, I have and I have published about the tepuk bergambar Indonesia tradisional. Tepu bergambar means that there are two people. They have one card and up and down, and this card both students can flip this one, and then with the open, this is the open up, the open down. The open is the winner, and open is the loser. So if the one student win, so the loser must be give some card to the winner. Do you get the idea of this game? Okay, I have the card, and you have the card, and you can take one, and if my card is open up, and the card is closed, so I'm the winner. So before we play this game, they are the agreement. If I win, you must give me 10 cards. If I lose, I give you 10 cards. This is the rule of this game. Okay. In the real situation, both students play this game. And then after several times, when the student lose many times, their card is empty, and this one no higher. So they are the student language about the mathematics. When they win, their card must be bigger, not bigger, much than before. And we lose the card must be decreased. This increase, decrease. So he said, "Oh, I mean that if I win, my card is increased. If I lose, my card is decreased." So that's the student language. This is addition. This is subtraction. You get the point? So this is for number question. On the other side, if I win 3 times, without lose, win, and then I got 10 cards, 10 cards, 10 cards. It means that I got 10 cards 3 times. It means that there's the definition of multiplication, right? Repeated addition. So, and the other side, when I have 50 cards and I lose 5 times. For the first time I lose, I give them 10 cards, and the second one I give them 10 cards, and until my card is empty. So this is a definition of division, repeated subtraction, right? So there the student language about the mathematics. If I win, this is addition. If I lose, this is subtraction. If I win several times, this is the multiplication. And I lose several times until my card is empty. This is the definition of division. So this is the first level, the situation when they learn by using the traditional games, namely like tepu bergambar. This is the name of this game. So this is one of the example how to teach number operation. And this paper has been also published again. Maybe I will give a share my Google student profile. This is a lot of paper that I have wrote and published. This is like I said before about how to learn multiplication using Indonesian traditional rules. Can you see that? This one. Using Indonesian There I give the illustration. You can get more in this paper. You can get the insight how to use culture in teaching number operation. And also this for multiplication. I also read about the addition, subtraction, and also we also the multiplication operation, also addition, subtraction, and division. Both of number operation I also read this paper, and you can read more if you would like to know about how to use the culture in the learning process, in the learning number operation. I will share in the chat room. Okay, the second question. I would like to know some example of how mathematics is influenced by culture. Mathematics is influenced by culture. Yeah. In the ethnomathematics exploration, there are some culture can be used to teach mathematics as some content in mathematics. Maybe it is the what you want to know. How about Japanese influence mathematics? I cannot answer this question. Maybe Professor Pusaka can answer about it because he also the mathematics researcher. And how about Indonesia? You can read in my Google Scholar. There are a lot of papers that I wrote about how culture can influence or can use starting point and mathematics. Okay. Correction, how Japanese culture influence mathematics in Japan? Maybe bisa kasih sedikit. We'll answer this question. Okay. Bisa kasih explain short.
Okay. For example, in Japan, of course, we will learn the mathematics, like pure mathematics, the universal mathematics. But through learning universal mathematics, some example related to the culture is introduced in the textbook. For example, in the junior high school, we learn the ratio, like 5 to 1, 5 to 2. And all the textbook introduce the Hakuginki is the most beautiful ratio in Japan. Like 5 to 7 it is said that the most beautiful ratio in Japan. The sense of the beautifulness of Japanese 5 to 7. It's called Hakuginki, white to silver ratio. Actually, this is a direct translation. What is it? Is for example, the traditional temples. Probably tomorrow you go to the Kyoto, right? And the building, and the first floor is 7.
Okay.
And the second floor is 5. So 5 to 7, 白銀比とか青銅器、なんか、so that kind of the traditional culture, something related to the universal mathematics are always introduced in the textbook.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pusaka. Hopefully tomorrow we will go there. So for the Leonardo Victor, if you from Japan, please go to Kyoto. If you don't want, if you coming from not from Japan, please go to Japan. You can see that more about the culture in Japan. Thank you very much. Okay, there is another question.
Maybe let's make one more.
Okay, that's one question. That's from me.
Okay,
Okay, thank you very much. It's very interesting and presentation. I understand the importance of the culture and mathematics, and vice versa, mathematics to culture, culture to mathematics. But I'm doing the same research in Mozambique as well. For example, in case of the Mozambique, like the curriculum says 20% of the lesson hours have to be the teacher have to use for the local curriculum related to the local contents. But actually, in case of mathematics, many teachers don't use that. So I searched the reason why, because they don't understand what is the local curriculum in case of mathematics, or they don't know how to implement the cultural math. So actually, that 20% they just use for the textbook, the universal mathematics. So I'd like to know about the situation in Indonesia. Of course, the research levels, the many researchers do the research about cultural math, but in the ground level, the teachers actually implement this kind of the learning activity during the lessons.
Thank you very much for suggestions. Especially in primary education, for first grade 1, 2 until 3, this is the lower grade or the high grade. They are the thematic curriculum. In thematic curriculum means that in one section we learn several topics, and we try to integrate it in one theme. For example, the theme about farming, for example, about the farming. So we can integrate it, the mathematics in this activity, and also about the science in the activity, and also moral education in this part. So in one activity, they integrated some part. So in this part, we can doesn't make the curriculum, right? But in thematic books, the context they use is very formal, like a farming and the others. But as a teacher, we can give what we call alternative context. If they want to use it, we can make it. So I'm not bring my laptop, but for our research, I always make the two books. The first one is student books, and the second one is teacher books. So in one book or one lesson plan or student worksheet is coming have the complete activity that integrated in several subjects. Maybe one day our suggestion about the alternative curriculum will be used for the government. But before that, I try to use the locally. For example, in our school model and the others. And one more thing, Novicency now try to make the curriculum paper, right? You promised to me because I give it more resources to you. They try to make the ethno curriculum by using mathematics as the one of the topic in the curriculum. The data have been done, right? But try to make it the paper. Hopefully next year. This paper already finished, and I pushed them. I pushed her. I pushed her to make sure that this ethno curriculum will be established next year, hopefully, especially in Indonesian context.
Thank you, ma'am. So Indonesian teachers quite well implement this kind of
teach model in our research community, because I myself, novice essay, we teach in the master program on mathematics education. So all of our student is the mathematics teacher. So we can ask them to try implementing our idea, our design in the classroom. Hopefully.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome. Very welcome.
Thank you, Professor. I think let's make this the last one because it's asked by one of our professors here.
It's okay.
One question from Professor. Yeah.
Thank you.
So we'll make this last.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Counting an operation number based on negative 10 as a set is acceptable for local culture of shopping or language in daily life in Indonesia. Or there is any different number system in Indonesia? Just my theories. Yeah. In Indonesia, we also have. I also try to make my sons as the research subject. Sometimes I teach them some culture. I push myself. I promise to myself I would like to publish one paper as my son as the research subject. This is okay, right? Because every morning I teach my son by using some context, especially like before the foundation. Because my son is third grade, in the third grade and then fourth grade. I give them the base foundation of mathematics. What is it? The first one is number operation. It's very essential. It's very fundamental. And the second one is the fraction. And the third one is decimal. In my opinion, if they can master for this content, maybe they can implement to all content in mathematics. That's right. When we learn about the trigonometry, that's of the number operation, right? When we learn about the equation, one variable, second variable, and the others, they use the number operation. And also my second son, in the third grade, I also teach them about equation system. But it works because they have a good foundation. So for the hierarchy is that say about the counting is very common. It's very common. It's very common in Indonesia. Like by using maybe I can show the picture like this on my side. For example, I give the one example about the shopping because they very like meal and snacks snack and then if I give you money, how many snack and milk you can buy? This is the problem, right? Then you can answer. This is the open problem. Then you can answer three kind of answer. For the first one, father, if I buy and I bring my brother to the shopping, I must buy like this. But on the other hand, if I thirsty, if I thirsty, maybe I buy more milk than snack. But if I am hungry, I buy more snack than milk. Something like that. For my it's very interesting. Why you answer a lot of answer, but I like to give question to of my student the open-ended problem, not only one answer and one question in one answer and one way. I don't like it. I like to give one question, but there are a lot of way to answer and a lot of answer a lot of way and a lot of answer to solve one problem. Maybe it's more interesting to me, so I can find the logical thinking of my student and how the creativity to answer. For example, for the number operation, I don't ask them one plus two equal to, not like this. But my question is, if I understand how I get this number. So the answer is 1 multiplied by 9, 2 plus 8, 3 plus 7, and the others. So my question on how to get the 10, how to get the 6, how to get something like that. And also for multiplication, how to get the 20. So you can 10 multiplied by 2, 4 multiplied by 5, and the others. So this is a very common, and sometimes we use the shopping content and also local culture and the others. Thank you very much for Isidora Sensei for your interesting question. Thank you so much.
I think we are done. No more questions, so we will proceed to the next segment of the program. But once again, I would like to say terima kasih once again for your very, very wonderful presentation. It is very informative and educational, especially the mathematics people should be very happy with this presentation. We are getting our, let us put our hands together for the wonderful video. I'll ask Manuel San to take over from this for our next segment. Thank you, Manuel.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much. So this is the second session, and this second session is based on the report on exchange research between Naruto University of Education and Ahmad Dahlan University. I hope I pronounced very well the name. And I will be the moderator for this session. My name is Jordan Laurindo Manuel. I'm from Angola in Africa. I'm Master 2 student. I'm about to graduate finally. So welcome to this session. And in this session, we have 30 minutes, 20 minutes for presentation, and 10 minutes for Q&A. While we have the presentation, people who are attending online, anytime you can write, you can send your question to the chat box. So now we will call the next presenter. So we will call Kusaka Sensei to say something.
Okay, thank you very much, Manuel-san, and thank you very much for the moderator. Before starting the presentation, let me explain a little bit again the background or history, or I can say history even 2 years, but the history I can say. This research collaboration that started with 2002, 2 years ago, and for our university has a global teacher development program. So this research collaboration with the student of Ahmad University and Naruto University of Education using that scheme for our university. And last year, what we did is from each side present she or his own research and comments the other side. And for example, Japanese one students present something, and the Indonesian students make questions, and vice versa. What we did last year, and this year, what we did is like at the beginning of this year, we talked to Professor Nopi Sensei, and this year let's do a little bit one more step ahead, one more step deep, because we are master students, right? So we can do more research-based program. So this year we set the research topic. Later, the students will explain, so I'm not going to talk too much, but we set some research topics, and some small group, we made a small groups, like 2 or 3 from Japan, 2 or 3 in Indonesia, and with the joint research. And completed this summer, and we visited Indonesia, and we presented something. So later, so yeah, so this is the brief history and the general information about this program. So now the students who join this program will present the report.
Good evening, everyone. Ya, minasan, konbanwa, hajime mashite, watashi wa Indra desu. Yeah.
I'm Kazunari.
Yeah, Kazunari. Thank you very much, Kazunari, for being a moderator, and also Tayu. And yeah, back to the English mode. Hello, everyone. I'm Dinda, as representative master student at Ahmad Dahlan University. Let me start by giving you a report on joint research Ahmad Dahlan University and Naruto University of Education. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. We will talk about the background. Ahmad Dahlan University and Naruto University of Education have been conducting online student exchange and collaborative research since May 2022. Starting from April of this year, students from Japan and Indonesia are mixed to become as a team, and each team will get different topic, and each team will discuss to conduct collaborative research. For example, here are our topic like use of ICT in education, second language education, moral education, teacher working environment, pupil use of SNS. Okay, let's move on to the next slide.
So, background. So Linda told everything. So move the next slide. Okay, next is our object and our purpose of this project. The purpose of our research is to gain a broad and deep perspective and understanding of education by conducting a comparative study of education in Indonesia and Japan. We held an online meeting once a month to advance our respective research. We conducted the research along the flow shown in the table, this slide. And each group communicated with each other to advance their research. And from August 6th, Japanese students went to Indonesia for about 1 week and presented our research at Dahlan University. During the research process, there are many many obstacles like bad connection of internet and language barrier, but we did it. Okay, next slide.
Yeah, thank you, Tayu. This slide shows a breakdown of final presentation in Indonesia. Like, yeah, you can see that moral group, teacher working environment, second language education, use of ICT in education, and pupils use of SNS. We present on August. Yeah, on August. Okay, we can move on to the next slide, Tayu. Thank you. We will talk about, let's move on, what each group discuss. Disclaimer, this finding based on Indonesian student finding. And yeah, the first group talk about use of ICT in education. With the title is Usage of GeoGebra in Indonesia and Japan, focusing on math classes in junior high school. And their objective is to analyze student perspective on the use of GeoGebra. They collect 12 lesson plan from various sources and analyze them using a perspective based on arrange and memory in 5 categories. In conclusion, the integration of GeoGebra, which provide interactive, visual, and exploratory opportunity into mathematics learning in Indonesia, demonstrate the potential to enhance student learning experience, explanation, and reflection. And for the usage of ICT in education for the first group from Indonesia, I think that's all, and we can move to next slide.
Okay.
And the second group focus on cultural difference in 9th grade English textbook between Indonesia and Japan in the context of second language education. Their objective to identify some of cultural difference in English textbook between Indonesia and Japan and to suggest improvement in English education for both countries. That using a qualitative approach, they compare English textbook focusing on topics and sentence commonly studied in 9th grade English lesson. The findings show that Japanese textbook have value for individualism, femininity, long-term orientation, and the inclusion of information about other countries. However, Indonesian textbook have value for collectivism, uncertainty avoidance, short-term orientation, and the inclusion of information about the home country. And we can talk to the next group.
So this is the third group, it's like moral education. So we have the 3 main objectives for our moral education team. So the first is to identify the similarity and differences between the teaching method of Indonesia and Japan. The second is to examine the possibility of the collaborative moral lesson between Indonesia and Japan. The last one is to develop the collaborative lesson plan with norms in moral education. So our methodology is the first, we share the information and the idea through online meeting to develop the collaborative lesson plan for moral education. And we make a questionnaire and a lesson plan. Then we conduct the intervention lesson in Indonesia. Lastly, we analyze the data and assess the students' moral. So our finding is that moral education learning methods in Indonesia are integrated into PKN subject. The word PKN means education in school of Indonesia. So it is possible to develop collaborative lesson plan by integrating moral learning activities in Japan into PKN learning steps in Indonesia. The lesson plan that has been developed is applied to students and received a positive response from them. Okay, next, the fourth group. I would like to show fourth group research. the photo shows our group members. And our group conducted a comparative study on the working environment of teachers. The purpose was to clarify the differences in the working environment of teachers in Indonesia and Japan. As a research method, we first compare the outline of each school. After that, we create a questionnaire regarding the working environment of teachers with 63 questions that were answered by 25 teachers in each country. The 63 questions were created based on three main categories: salary, social status, and work amount. First, the outline of school in Japan and Indonesia were very similar. In both cases, many students enter the workforce after attending kindergarten, elementary school, junior high school, and high school, and university. The next findings, we find we can get many results about our questionnaire, but we have 63 questionnaires, so I omit these results. But in summary, it was confirmed that Indonesian teachers have a more positive impression of the teaching profession than Japanese teachers. Although we were able to measure the actual workload of teachers this time, we were able to gauge the differences in teachers' awareness. Therefore, our research only shows how teachers in each country feel about their work.
Thank you very much. And the last group, the topic is pupil use of SNS with issues of internet literacy and education as their topic. Their objective to explore internet literacy issues in formal education setting, and using a qualitative approach, this study conduct interview with teachers from different levels of formal education, elementary to senior high school, and the interview were analyzed using the in vivo coding technique. And to ensure effective internet education in Indonesia, it's critical to overcome connectivity limitation with backup option, teach student responsible online behavior, support teacher professional development, and collaboratively creating assessment instrument to measure student progress in critical domain areas like online safety, critical thinking, research, and evaluation. The next slide, we will talk about the continuation of our research. Our research got recognized at International Innovation Completion in Education, IICE 2023, with a Bronze Award for enhanced student character in mathematics education, focusing on computational thinking skill. We also present collaborative lesson plan development norms in moral education, and studied about usage of GeoGebra in Indonesia and Japan, focusing on math classes in junior high school. Another presentation was made at International Conference on Education, Science, Technology, and Health, Lodge of Knowledge in 21st Century, discuss about cultural difference in the content of English textbook between Indonesia and Japan. Also, some groups have been writing articles as well. What we have learned through the joint research exchange. First, we understand the condition of education sector in other countries, especially from Japan, in terms of teachers, school environment, and student. And joint research trained us to communicate effectively in the limited language we use during the discussion. We also met friends across countries to exchange knowledge about each other's culture. We realized that there were differences in workflow and point of view between Japanese and Indonesian students during discuss the research. And like Professor Ruli said before, we are the mathematics teacher, and also our major is mathematics education. So joint research is a place where we get out of our comfort zone because the topic given is more education in general, not in mathematics education. Okay, I think that's all.
Yep. So at the end of this report, so we would like to ask students who participate in this joint research to share their impression through the joint research. So first Japanese side. So
Hello, I'm Kana, and I joined this Indonesian program for 2 years. And this year, at the first, I was very concerned about the joint research, but finally we made it. And one of my teammates made a presentation in the international conference, and then we got the prize. And I'm really proud of my teammate, and sometimes it was really hard to study, but I learned a lot from this program and enjoyed research. So I hope this program will continue in the future. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I'm Tota. This Indonesian program is my first time global teacher developing program. So before this program, I have so big nervous for cooperate with foreign students, and it was in the online environment, but this is so big pressures for us. It's so meaningful. We can do everything as well. So it is a nice experience for me. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Hiroyuki. Yes, I'm a master student. Actually, I'm a teacher of elementary school in Ibaraki Prefecture. And this is the first time to join this program, and I went to Indonesia. It's the first time for me to visit. And so what I was fascinated with the most in Indonesia is the relationship among the Indonesian students. We conducted some lessons in the class in Indonesia, and the students had a good relationship with each other. So in the lesson, some of the students had a difficulty to solve the questions, to solve the tasks, but most of the students tried to help the other students. So all of them cannot give up. So that's a very good relationship. So I felt a good atmosphere in Indonesia. So it was the most, yes, it was very good to see. Yes, if I have a chance, I want to join next year too. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, I am Shino from the University of Education, and we were the group two. Yeah, and actually we did further research based on our joint research, and this month in Indonesia we present our research at the international conference. So, and we learned many things, but for me, I felt it is important that to consider what can we do, or what, in the given environment, like because of our long distance, we had many difficulties, like Wi-Fi conditions or like language difficulties, but we could do it. So thank you very much.
So I'm tired. So I know you guys, getting maybe or getting tired. So I will try to be a brief. So there are only few left you left in 2023. So I would say the best part of 2023 was the meeting with the Indonesian people and participate this joint research with them. So the meeting, this meeting and the experience are wonderful, really wonderful for me. So I just can't, Egypt into the world. So thanks so much. All of them said everything what I want to say. So I just say one sentence. It was very honor for me that I could join this program. Thank you very much.
Yeah. For me, as the last group, who will use SNS, for me, I learned a lot of things about our joint research because, like I said before, when we have, we realize that we have a different culture and also a different workflow to doing collaborative research and how to meet in the middle, how to discuss about our perspective and about their perspective is really very hard. But it's become the best lesson for me because I learned to more understand about the perspective what Japanese students do. Okay, I think that's all for me. And
for me, joint research, it's very enjoyable to be able to learn and share information, especially about our research about student perspective from use of ICT in mathematics learning, especially in Japan. I think that's all.
Okay, from our side, we are from a third group, moral group. From this joint research, we gained insight into the state of education in various countries, taking into account aspects such as teachers, school environment, and students. Through collaborative research, we have developed effective communication despite language barriers and foster friendship to share culture knowledge. This collaboration also highlights the differences in approach and perspective between Japanese and Indonesian students in our research discussions. And through this joint research, our group was able to take part in the international conference competition and received bronze medal in this activity. I think that's all from us.
Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. I think we could learn too much. Now it's time for Q&A question. We have 10 minutes for this session.
I'm Edison from Wonder. I am happy to be with you. So, but if possible, we need more information about these contents and send with our email address. Thank you. So we will send you the contents. Thank you. Thank you so much for kind message.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I think the last slide, they pointed out difference of the workflow and the point of view. Please explain more about that.
I'm sorry, the question is, I'm trying to hear the question, but it's not clear. Can you repeat one more time?
We pointed out the difference between the Indonesian and Japanese students about the workflow and also point of view. So
Oh, about
the delay.
about the point, we realized that there were difference in workflow and point of view between Japanese and Indonesian students during discussion the research. Is it correct?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, as we are Indonesian student, usually when we make make a research between me and my classmate, usually we in the first meeting we already know about the topic that we want, what kind of instrument that we need to use, and we can imagine about the guideline of our research. Yeah, but for when we join the joint research, we realized that we only focus on research and development, and a lot of Japanese students using a qualitative approach. And yeah, we are so rare qualitative approach. Yeah, we usually use qualitative and quantitative approach. And of course, when we have to understand about the qualitative approach, if yeah, is yeah when we when I yeah when we usually we have the structure of the guideline to know what we will do, but in the joint research, maybe because the limitation of language, so both of side cannot imagine the guideline, what will we do in this step, the next step, and the second step. I think that's all, because we realized that about the workflow, and also Indonesian students, they are so flexible. So we, when we have, when the situation is not support us, usually we will think about, what we have to do when the plan A is not effective. We will choose the plan B. We will have initiative to take problem solving alone, and then we will ask our lecture. But I realized that for Japanese student, they will make sure to the professor first, and then they will make sure the professor first about the problem solving that they will want to use. And yeah, I think that's all about us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We still have one question. I think the last question. Somebody. So, how is to apply for joining to research about mathematics education? I think this other sense. How to apply joining
this program?
Yeah, I think.
Please come to Nara University.
Thank you very much for this nice presentation. I hope we could learn a lot, and some of us, we want to join also for this kind of program. It's very enjoyable. Thank you very much. So now is the end of the second session, but we want to call, before going to closing remark, we want to call Saka Sensei to say something, some considerations.
Okay, thank you very much for the manual staff, for the moderators. And before closing remarks, as usual, I'd like to introduce, let me introduce our students who supported this conference. Actually, this conference is conducted by It's a long name, sorry. Naruto University of Education International Cooperation Center for the Teacher Education and Training. Yeah, we call it INSET. So our university has an INSET in the center. So this conference, this is the fourth time this year, in total 8 times. But the INSET implemented this conference. But actually what doing our students developed this conference always. So let me introduce our students who supported this time. じゃあ、ですかね。I don't know from this side, but just your name and just one thing. Please say what you have learned. Most important learning this year because 2023 is ending, right? So, what you have learned most in Naruto University of Education?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Prof. And so my most learning into 2023 is I can understand some countries' culture. For example, Mali, Madagascar, and Nicaragua, and El Salvador. So it's so very specific. There are so specific environment. So it is the most learning. How can I say? Because this is my second grade in our long student. So we can communicate a lot of foreign students, and we can be friends. So this is my most big learning point, and enjoy this point. Thank you.
Hello everyone. My name is Shino Manabe. And this year, I met many people here, like from various countries and in various age. And I thought that it is important that to like think about my goals or what I want to do or what I need to do or what should I do. And even though we have many tasks, so it looks like there are many tasks. So usually, like always, I have to think about my own goal or something like that. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Jordan Laurindo Manuel. As I said, I'm from Angola. And since I'm about to graduate, I think this year it was too difficult for me because too difficult and too good. I could learn many things about how to analyze data. But I can say the most important thing I could learn this year, it was comprehensive analysis. It's like a combination or a method to analyze qualitative data and quantitative data to combine. It was so good, and I was so excited to learn about it. Thank you very much.
Good evening once again. I am Manuel's colleague. We came together 2021 and we are about to leave. I am Augustine from Papua New Guinea, and Sanjay Kusaka is my professor. And I would want to, from the bottom of my heart, I would want to express my sincere gratitude to him and Professor Ozawa as well, because this is my first time doing a research, academic research. And I have done a lot of mistakes and they always guide us. So our professors here in Naruto University, they're very kind. So I'd like to thank them for the efforts they've put in to get my research done. So I am grateful that I am about to complete my thesis, and that is going to be the first of its kind. So it's a big achievement, I think, and I guess. And just a bit of comment. This shared research and interaction between countries, this has to continue I would like to appeal to my two professors here and the professors that have come from Indonesia. Let this continue. And please extend the invitation to us as well. We want to be part of it as well. Thank you so much.
Okay, hello again. I'm Hiroyuki Endo. I'm a master student, and I learned at the university. I learned the importance of having time to study something, to learn something on the way to the future, in the middle of my life. So, for example, until last year, I was working at the primary school as a teacher, and I worked almost for 10 years, and then I came here. So, if I were not here, I couldn't get a lot of skill, a lot of knowledge. I couldn't learn a lot of things. But here, we have a lot of international students and young students. So I learned a lot of things from them. So from their personality, from their experience, from their skill, from their knowledge. So yes, I'm very happy to be here. And so yes, and especially I learned a lot of things. For example, research mind, research skills, and presentation skills, or English or something. So yes, more I have learned a lot of things this year. More I was very happy. Yes. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Kana, and what I learned from this university, it is better to do do everything what I want to do. So I joined not only the Indonesian program, but also I joined the Mozambique and also the Rwanda's program as well. And I could broaden my views. And so from next year, I'm gonna be an English teacher, and I'm sure those experiences were helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Kazunari Tsukiya. What I learned from this university is many things. I was Army last year, and so before coming here, I don't know anything, how to research and how to speak English and so on. So everything is new for me. And I realized, I think attitude is the most important thing for students. So this year I was a little sluggish, I think. So next year I want to be a more aggressive student.
Okay, thank you very much for supporting this conference. But finally, let me share my learning this year. Okay. Okay, so this year, 2023, I learned 2023, I learned a lot. And one of the things what I learned is like creating opportunity or the opportunity to the students or even professors. And for example, this is one opportunity to make collaboration and the students can join. And as I said, the other programs. But sometimes creating opportunity or involving many people struggle or like めんどくさい is increasing a lot, right? But yeah, and but at the end, probably if we completed it, we can learn a lot. So sometimes I say just do it, and I came up on my mind. Oh, okay, let's do it. Yeah, but and many things fail, but some is success. Yeah. So what I learned is just creating many opportunity is very important. That's what I learned this year. Okay. And for the example, the Indonesia, this program, this year what we did. I was thinking this is a kind of the final form version of this program, like joint research. And but to go one step ahead, we have to think about what to do next year. We have to discuss with Nobi Sensei what to do next. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Saka Sensei. And now for the closing remark, we want to invite Professor Ozawa. 願いします。
Good evening.
Good evening.
For closing remarks, I make few words. First, I'd like to thank you very much, Professor Ruri, for your very inspiring presentation. And for I can understand how the culture enhances mathematics learning. And the discussion with the participants was also very interesting, especially relationship between the language, culture, and the mathematics learning is very interesting. And I impressed the report on the joint research program between two universities as well. I really appreciate your effort, which are crystallized as a precious outcome of the research. And also the professor of the Ahmad University and the professor, especially Kusaka Sensei, will support this program. Without this support, we cannot get the outcome. And our university aims to develop the teachers with a global perspective. I believe that research collaboration with the students of the university on education will foster this ability. And I hope that we will continue to conduct joint research between faculty and students of Dahlan University and our university. Thank you very much again for coming to our university and giving very valuable lecture to us. Please enjoy the rest of your stay in Naruto and Japan. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sensei, for your closing remarks. This is the end of our today's session. And for this year, this is the last International Cooperation Talk Show. But next year, we will come again and we will continue organizing this kind of meeting. And we are just inviting in advance all of you to join next year in person and also online, because some of us we will not be here, but we will continue joining this kind of program, because here we can learn so many things, and we can share some ideas. Thank you very much for coming.
In the future, things will be better. We will all be kinder to one another. There will be no more wars, and we'll all get along. We will all be happy, and we will all be free. We'll be able to do what we want to do, and life will be perfect, or at least it will be better than it is now. So let's all try to make it happen. It might take some time, but eventually we'll get there, and then we can all look back and say that we made it. We stuck together and we made it through, and everything will be alright.